Good evening, folks. Sean Patrick Erschen here, and I just wanted to do this video for fun, and I thought it would be fun, like, to do as a tag, for people to tell their stories about how they became YouTubers. What drove you to become a YouTuber? And yeah, so I'm going to tell a little bit of my story. I'm not going to tag anybody in particular, but whoever wants to join in and do this tag, I think it would be a lot of fun, and maybe get to know a little bit about each person, Yeah, so I've been doing this for 7 years now, going on 8. I'll have my 8-year anniversary soon. And yeah, it's been quite a while now. And I just want to say I absolutely love doing this and connecting with YouTubers in the horror community and with the fans as well, and fans of horror just like myself, This, I feel, is a great outlet for the horror fan to talk about what they love and, spread the joy, spread the love of horror, And yeah, so horror is just something I've loved since I was about 5 years old when I saw my first horror movie. And like, I started with, I believe the first one I saw was Friday the 13th Part 2. And then I went and saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and then 2 right after that. And then I saw Halloween, and then I was just enamored with horror, Right from there, I was off and running. I was obsessed with horror, So I've seen so many movies, and, I just developed a real love of horror. And for me to have this outlet to express my love of horror, I think is so great, and it just, like, kind of fills that void inside me. Because at one point I fancied myself an artist, and I went to art school. First I went to vocational school for advertising design, and then I went to art college, the Art Institute. I went there for a couple of years, and I have an associate's degree. But it kind of stopped there, I went out and tried to find a job. I didn't have a whole lot of luck. I did a few freelance jobs, but unfortunately I never landed a steady gig, so I kind of gave up on it, and it's kind of sad, And I got very discouraged and depressed about it, and I really have never gotten back from that, I basically gave up art, something I really loved at one time, So to me, this has kind of filled that void. Becoming a YouTuber and expressing myself in this way has kind of filled that void. So yeah, it's very important to me. It kind of started out as a hobby, but I feel like it's become even more of that than a hobby, I just love doing it so much. I love what I've built here, and I feel like I have a pretty solid channel with a lot of variety in there. I got the tag videos, I got movie reviews, I'm doing sci-fi corner and stuff, talking about superhero movies and all kinds of stuff, and I just love it, I can't get enough of it. It's like it's like an adrenaline rush, So yeah, the reason I started doing it was because of that, and of course I was influenced by outside people, and other people who do what I do. So I started basically realizing that there was a place for this. At first I was just kind of, nonchalant about it, and I started watching people like Jeremy Johns, who seemed like, oh, he's not really like what you would call a professional movie critic. I guess he is now, but he's kind of goofy and silly about it. He's not dead serious like serious movie critics that write for a newspaper or, have a TV show or something, He felt like me, And I really enjoy that. And then I started watching people like him and Chris Stuckman, and then I got into the Screen Junkies. I really like their channel. They seem like these geeks having fun together, you know, talking about movies and arguing about movies and having debates about movies, you know, like they did the movie fights thing. I thought that was a lot of fun. And I started watching the Schmoes, and then the Schmoes Know reviews, and then they had the whole Schmodown thing, which is like a pro wrestling thing. It's so much fun. They got pro wrestling personalities, and when you win the fight about movies, you win a championship belt, and you know, and they walk around with a championship belt. It's a lot of fun. I love that stuff. So I just soak it in. But then I realized that there are people that just talk about specifically horror. And then I was blown away by that. I was like, ooh, there's this place for horror there too, you know. And then I first saw the big timers that do it, like Drum Dums and Cody Leach. And one of the first guys I became friends with was Boogeyman Ben. And then I saw guys like him and Christian Hannah Horror. And then I saw that there were people like that were even smaller than that, you know, that were more, that didn't have 50,000 subscribers, you know, people that would just be like lo-fi, not super technical with all these graphics and stuff, and, you know, and yeah, I don't have that. I'll be honest, I don't edit my videos, I don't have all these graphics and stuff. I wish I did, and I hope to at some point, but basically that's because I'm poor. I can't really afford all these expensive computer programs and all that, you know. But yeah, those are the things, those are the people that have influenced me, and yes, I got into some of the smaller time people like Joe the Horror Man and Boogeyman Ben, and then I started meeting some other people and connecting with people, because for a long time I did not connect with anybody, and I didn't have too many subscribers, you know. I just maybe had 5 or 10 subscribers for the longest while, because I never reached out to people. I didn't comment on other people's videos. I just like watched them. And then I found out about doing that. When you comment on someone's video, you might get a sub from them, or if you do a tag video and tag somebody, that's another big thing that got this community together in a lot of ways too, is the tag video. You tag certain people, and they might mention you, and you mention them, and you talk, you know, and you connect that way. And then you do the live streams, where you invite somebody else in the horror community onto your live stream, and that's another great way to connect with people, you know. And before you know it, we have this whole little horror community going, and I just love it. I think it's so cool, it's so much fun, and it's such a great way to express my love of horror and movies in general. I just love movies, and to be able to have this creative outlet. Sometimes I play different characters, like the Dark Fade and the and the Killer Kringle at Christmas time. I've done a couple short films. You know, I've done a lot of different stuff, and I think it's been such a great way to kind of fill that void that I left off with art. You know, and I kind of consider this my art now, basically. So yeah. That's kind of my story, guys. What is your story? So everyone out there in YouTube land, you are tagged to do the "What Made Me Become a YouTuber" tag. So thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Erschen, and have a wonderful day. And tune in and stay scared.